Sophia stepped into the space and felt the air shift around her, as if the world itself had exhaled in welcome. The ground beneath her feet was soft, glowing faintly like golden sand kissed by sunlight and moonlight all at once. Above her, the sky arched in impossible colors, deep sapphire folding into molten gold, streaks of silver tracing invisible paths. It was neither night nor day, neither fully real nor a dream, yet every sensation resonated with truth that she recognized in her bones. A gentle wind brushed her face, carrying the fragrance of blossoms that she could not name. She breathed in, and the scent seemed to hum with life, weaving through her lungs, through her chest, and settling into her heart. There, in the center of this sacred realm, a circle of light unfolded, a soft, radiant pool that pulsed with a living glow. It was as if the sun and moon itself had joined, and the earth beneath had opened to cradle the union. Sophia's heartbeat quickened, not with fear, but recognition. She sensed the presence of her inner beloved, the integrated energy of inner masculine and feminine, ready to meet her in the fullness of the sacred union. As she moved closer, the space seemed to respond, bending light and sound around her. A subtle vibration passed through the ground and into her body. It was a call, an invitation. Here, the union is complete. Here, heaven and earth meet. Sophia knelt beside the luminous pool, her palms resting gently on the warm surface. The light shimmered beneath her touch, reflecting not only the world above, but the depths within her own heart. For the first time, she felt the full weight and wonder of what she had carried through her journey, the inner beloved, the twin suns, the flames that had redefined and purified her. Everything that she had experienced, stillness, vision, union, had all led to this sacred place, and she closed her eyes, letting the space enfold her. The air was alive with the quiet music of the cosmos. The ground hummed in resonance with her heart, and in that perfect luminous stillness, Sophia understood that she was ready for the sacred marriage, the union of heaven and earth within her own being. Sophia sat quietly by the luminous pool, her eyes closed, her breath steady. At first, the space around her felt like a gentle echo of her own heartbeat, subtle, tender, and alive. Then she felt it, a presence flowing into her chest, settling in the very center of her heart. It was the inner masculine she had carried, once distant, now fully awake, strong, steady, protective, and radiant with light. And alongside it, the inner female, soft, receptive, nurturing, and luminous. The two energies were distinct, yet inseparable, circling one another like twin flames in a sacred dance. Sophia felt her own breaths synchronize with their rhythm, each inhale drawing them closer, each exhale releasing tension and separation. A subtle warmth bloomed in her chest, spreading to her arms, her shoulders, into her hands. She placed her palms together, bowing her head slightly, and felt the energies fold into one another, intertwining like rivers joining at their source. The luminous pool before her reflected this union. She opened her eyes and saw not two flames, but a single radiance, alive, dynamic, and infinite. It was not a vision of someone outside of herself. It was the sacred marriage within. Heaven and earth, masculine and feminine, divine and human, all woven together into a single harmonious light. Sophia's lips curved into a soft smile. She felt reverence rise in her chest, not from an awe of something beyond her, but from the recognition of what had always been within her. The inner beloved, the twin suns, the flames of her journey, they were not separate from her. They were her. And in that luminous, breathing stillness, she understood. The sacred marriage was not about union with another, it was about union within herself. And in union with herself, she had already touched the divine. The light pulsed gently in her chest, spreading outward in ripples that traveled through the air, the pool, and the world around her. Every particle seemed to acknowledge her completeness, the eternal dance of giving and receiving, of strength and surrender, of heaven and earth. Sophia closed her eyes again, letting the energy move through her fully. In the quiet of that sacred space, the flames of the fifth flame burned steady and eternal. The marriage was real. It was alive, and it was hers. Sophia inhaled deeply, feeling the pulse of the sacred union move through her chest, through her arms, through every fiber of her being. The luminous energy of heaven, vast, expansive, and radiant, flowed downward into her heart. The grounding presence of earth, steady, nourishing, and quiet, flowed upward, rooting her in the body, in the here, and in the now. She breathed with the rhythm of both, each inhale lifting, each exhale settling. The masculine energy strengthened her resolve, giving courage and clarity. The feminine energy opened her to receptive, intuitive, and deep serenity. Neither dominated, neither competed. Both moved as one, a perfect balance that pulsed in harmony with her heartbeat. Her body tingled with radiant awareness. Every cell, every nerve, every sinew seemed alive with the light of the fifth flame. She lifted her hands, letting the energy spiral from her fingertips, and watched it as it wove invisible patterns into the air, connecting the celestial and the terrestrial, the divine and the human. A deep, unspoken joy from her chest. It was not excitement or longing, it was completion, the gentle hum of a soul aligned. The sacred marriage was no longer a concept, a vision, or a dream. It was her. She felt it in her spine, in her breath, in the subtle warmth of her heart. Heaven and her earth were joined within and without. She closed her eyes and let the energy move through her fully, a living river of light. With each pulse, she could feel the world outside responding. The wind shifted, the ground seemed to shimmer, and the air hummed with the quiet resonance. Not because the world had changed, but because she had. In that communion, Sophia realized something profound. The sacred marriage was not only about inner balance, it was about embodying that union in life, in thought, in action, in being. It was heaven flowing through earth, spirit moving through matter, and the divine becoming tangible in every moment of existence. Her lips curved into a serene smile. She felt light yet grounded, radiant yet gentle, and powerful yet tender. The fifth flame burned steadily within her, a living testament to union, balance, and grace. And in the quiet hum of her own being, Sophia whispered, "Heaven and earth are one, masculine and feminine are one, divine and human are one, and I am the living union." Sophia stepped outside this sacred space, the world around her already humming with life, familiar, ordinary, and yet subtly different. The sunlight fell in gentle patterns across the ground, and the air carried the scent of earth and warmth. She felt grounded, yet luminous, the fifth flame burning steadily within her chest. As she walked, small disturbances began to appear, a sudden argument in the distance, a fleeting irritation from a passerby, the old reflex to react or rush. Each tugged gently at her awareness, testing the steadiness of the flame that she now carried. She paused, hand on her heart, feeling the pulse of the sacred marriage, masculine clarity and strength, feminine receptivity and calm. The energies intertwined, steady and unshakable, reminding her that heaven and her earth were joined within her. Nothing outside could touch the union that she had realized. A subtle smile lifted her lips. She breathed slowly, letting each inhale anchor her in presence, each exhale release attachment to what was not hers to carry. The world around her continued in its chaos, but she moved through it like still water, responding with grace rather than reaction, seeing without judgment, and feeling it without fear. The fifth flame illuminated everything that she touched, her steps, her breath, her gestures. Even small acts, a nod to a stranger, a quiet pause to watch the wind in the trees, became prayers of embodiment, reflections, or heaven meeting earth. Sophia understood now that this sacred marriage was not a fragile state to protect, but a living current to flow with. What aligned within her union would rise with her naturally. What was not meant to ascend would fall away on its own, leaving space for the light to expand. A breeze brushed her cheek, carrying a faint shimmer of gold and silver light. She smiled, knowing that the twin suns that she had seen in the dreams The flames that she had carried through meditation and the sacred marriage within her were inseparable from her life now. With every step, Sophia felt the pulse of heaven flowing through earth, the sacred with mundane, and the divine in her daily being. The fifth flame was alive, steady, and unshakable, a living testament that union was not a place to reach, but a state of being to embody. And as she moved through the world, she carried it lightly, radiantly, and joyfully, a bridge of heaven and earth walking quietly, fully, and luminous. The fifth flame pulsed steadily within her chest, golden and silver white intertwined, radiant yet calm, fierce yet tender. She felt heaven flowing into earth, masculine strength and feminine grace dancing together in perfect balance, divine and human harmonized as one. She breathed deeply, letting the rhythm of the flame anchor her. Each inhalation drew energy and clarity. Each exhalation released tension, separation, and doubt. In that stillness, she whispered softly, "Heaven and earth are joined within me. Masculine and feminine move as one. The sacred marriage is alive, steady, and luminous. I carry it with grace. I walk in it with love, and nothing can unseat this flame." The words reverberated through her being, sinking deep into her bones, her breath, and her every cell. She could feel the union flowing outward, connecting her to the world while remaining unshakably anchored inside. Sophia opened her eyes and looked at the sunlight spilling through the window. It shimmered on the walls, the floor, and the air itself, a mirror of the flame that she carried. Everything ordinary now reflected the extraordinary, a leaf, a breath of air, the soft curve of a light across the table. She smiled gently, feeling the quiet joy of knowing that the sacred marriage was not something to find, it was something to be. It was alive, eternal, radiant within her, and flowing into every moment of her life. With a final slow exhale, she whispered to herself and to the universe, "I am the union, I am the whole, I am luminous. Heaven and earth are one in me." And as the light of the fifth flame settled deep within her heart, Sophia rose, ready to walk her life fully aligned, fully embodied, and fully radiant, carrying the sacred marriage wherever she went.